What's up, my ballers? My name is Keisha Swafford, and I'm here with Oakland Fort. He goes to Sunnyslope High School in Phoenix, Arizona, and he is a point guard for the Sunnyslope High School. And he is, an amazing player, amazing point guard. And I just wanted to, just talk to him, get to know him, and see what his story is about. The first question I want to ask you is, what inspired you, to play basketball?
I would say what inspired me is my dad. Really, he played throughout his life. Growing up, he would always talk about how he played, how he grew up, and basically what basketball was for him. Which when I was younger, I played basically all the main sports, but as of now, I only play basketball. So to stick with that was really just inspired by my dad and my dad and my uncle when he would come over back when we lived in South Carolina and watch certain games on TV, and I just see them just chatting with each other, watching the games. And I mean, I didn't really know much about it at the time when I was younger, but just seeing those two bond over a game like that kind of intrigued me and interested me in the game. So I feel like that's what inspired me to play and continue playing up until now.
Oh, that's a sweet story. Yeah, I mean, I think sports really does bond people together and helps them to really see each other for who they are, like see their flaws and you're still able to play no matter who you are. Um, who do you look up to? I know you look up to your father. What qualities do you love about your father and, and as a basketball player?
I look up to both my parents just overall is how they carry themselves as human beings. I just feel like they're very respectful. They've taught my sisters and I very well, just manners, being respectful, being kind, being considerate of other people's feelings. So just that overall aspect of how they carry themselves and how they've like pushed that down into us. Because I mean, we're growing up too, and we're gonna have to learn our own way and our own beliefs and all of that. But I feel like our parents' teachings are going to play a big role in that. So I feel like that's why I look up to both of them very
Um,
much.
who do you model your game after? Anyone that you look up to in the sports industry?
I'm not gonna say I model my game after anybody specific, but I do enjoy watching. Rajon Rondo's been one of my favorite players since the like OG Celtic days, back when him, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett all played together, and Ray Allen, of course.
Oh, yeah,
He's been one of my favorite players for a minute. I
I
know he
love Ray
has like a
Allen.
lesser, I know, yeah, I know he has a lesser role now, but I still enjoy watching him play because he's just a really smart, disciplined, disciplined player. So he's probably my favorite point guard to watch, even though he's kind of old now. Or I mean, he's
That's
still in the
okay.
league, so he's definitely good. But other than him, the other point guys I enjoy watching are Steph, Dame, and Kimba. So I wouldn't say like I model my game after them, but like when I go off on my own free time, if I'm gonna watch anybody, it's gonna be one of those four or any uh any uh any of those four guys. So
Yeah, Steph is amazing. I was
yeah, he's
watching the game last night with him in it, and he was against the Jazz. It's just like effortless. His game is effortless.
he's ridiculous.
So back in March, you had the biggest game of your career with 34 points, and you had a monster dunk in the fourth quarter. How did you feel about your performance?
I felt really great, not gonna lie. I say it's definitely one of the best games I've ever played. I feel like I've had one other game that's either just as good or a little bit better than that, but that was when I was a little bit younger. So high school career, probably my best game. But performance wise, I feel like I played well. Feel like I did what I needed to do to get us to the next game and did what I needed to do for the coaches, for my teammates, for my school. So and I felt great after, but I knew we had to come back 2 days, basically a day later, because we had practice the day after the game and then the championship game the day after. So I knew we had to move on once the next day came upon us. So after that game, it was just on to the next and finish it out.
What did you think that you did differently than in that game, from your past games? What kind of mindset were you in?
Going into I'd say second quarter, the team we played, Brophy, they really locked in on defense. And I just feel like on the offense side of the ball, we were really stagnant because on the defensive side, we were all good. We were getting stops, rebounding, but offensively, we were just really stagnant. And so I made a couple moves, hit about two shots, and then I was kind of feeling myself.
Right.
And I just kept going, and the shots were still falling. So I just went with it and went with the flow, and my shots were falling, and everything was going in for me. So I don't know if it was really a mindset thing. I feel like it was more like oh, it's going in, so I got to keep going. I got to do this for my team, and my teammates and coaches. So
Yeah, basically you fired up the team. You were like, you put some fire under them. Like, wait, I'm making the shots. We got to get our offense up. So I think that really inspired them to say, okay, all right, we're still in this. So yeah, I think that was really good. Um, how did you stay focused? Especially with all that pressure. You're not sure if you're gonna win the game or not. How do you handle that pressure?
I feel like the pressure for me personally or pressure is only in the beginning of the game, like when you're warming up and you're not really in the mindset of like it's game time yet. So I feel like that's me in all the big games that I've played. I really feel it in the beginning, but then as I'm playing, it's just another game to me. I wouldn't really say it's pressure, but I feel like not only me, but the team altogether and the coaches, I feel like we all stayed focused just due to what we knew that we could do from the beginning of the season all the way to the end. Even in that game, I feel like we all knew like why we were here, why we made it this far, and why we need to move on. And along with that, the dedication and work that we've put in the season, in practice, in open gyms, after practice, before practice, whatever we've done to get us to the point that we were at, I feel like that's what kept us focused, and I feel like that's what kept us pushing to get to the next round and eventually win it. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, all that hard work, you had to make sure you won.
right,
You had to.
exactly.
It paid off though. It really did.
Yes.
What drives you every day? To keep playing at that high level.
I feel like it's just the joy that I get out of it. When I was younger and I was playing multiple sports, football was my favorite sport. I enjoy playing basketball, baseball, track, everything else too. It's just football was my favorite. And my dad being a basketball player was always like trying to get me in the gym, always trying to train me. And I was just younger at the time, so I wasn't really in the mindset that like I need to work for this, like I need to get better. So I mean, we would go to the gym sometimes, and I would like not give it my all and everything, or kind of make him mad, and it just wasn't. I would say like I had fun with it, but it wasn't enjoyable all the time for me.
Right.
But now the hard work, the the hours in the gym, everything that I do to improve my game, it's fun to me now. It's not like, oh, I have to do this. It's I get to do this and I have the opportunity to do this and I'm blessed by God to have the abilities to do this. So I feel like it's the joy, just the joy that comes out of it, out of hard
Under-
work and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I really admire that. I used to play basketball in high school, and you really don't understand the gravity of the situation. Basically, like this could mean something more to me later on. When you're younger, like when I was a teenager, I was like, I really didn't care about winning as much.
Right.
But as you get older, you're like, okay, I'm playing for a team now, so I have like
Exactly.
responsibility.
Exactly.
Uh, so I'm glad that you realized that and was able to, take your game to the next level. And I know you're known for creating shots and making 3-pointers and, just drawing fouls and putting basically putting your team on your shoulders. How do you handle that responsibility, but also, how has your game changed over the years?
I feel like the reason I'm able to handle the responsibilities is, I mean, first of all, it's not a one guy can't win a game. So, I mean, my teammates do certain things throughout the games that help me handle the pressure, or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like also my upbringing and playing with my dad when I didn't want to, him building my mental toughness also feeds into me being able to step up and do certain things on the court that my team needs to do when we're not flowing or we're stagnant or whatever. And you said improving my game next
Yeah,
year.
right. Like, how do you want to improve your game next year?
I say just being more consistent because I feel like I can get to the basket well. I can get to my mid range well. I can shoot the three. I can get better at everything. Obviously, you can always get better, but my consistency was a thing that I know personally I need to get better at. There's some games that like I wouldn't say I would disappear, but I just wouldn't be as prominent as I would others. So just keeping it level throughout the season is a big thing for me. Improving my reads off ball screen since I'm a point guard. I like to
Right.
improve that over summers, and I'll work with my trainer on that throughout the summer. So those two things, along with leaders, being a leader and leadership qualities, because I'm gonna be a senior next year. So I'd say I was a leader this year, but being a senior next year, I feel like it'll definitely be a bigger role since we had some guys leaving this year that were seniors. So yeah, just those two things along with leaders, being a better leader and leadership qualities is what I'm looking to improve on my game next year.
Okay. How do you plan on just give me maybe a little more examples? Like, would you improve? Just your leadership skills and being more focused and more consistent.
Being consistency is just putting in work, obviously. When you work on certain shots, the work should you should make more of those shots in game, in training, where whatever the case may be. As long as you put in the work, then the results should show. So I know as long as I do that, then the consistency should come. And just being a leader, my high school coach kind of talks to me about it all the time. Just being more vocal. I wouldn't say I'm the most vocal kid. I wouldn't say like I talk out of turn or just talk to talk. So I know this year being a senior and having some younger guys on the team this year, it's not whether I want to or not, or I'm not a vocal kid. I'm gonna have to improve upon being a leader and just enhancing my leadership qualities and abilities. So
Yeah, like I think he means like be more assertive, I guess, just whenever you have to
yeah,
really
putting
talk to
guys in the right
somebody.
direction all the
Right,
time.
just vocalize your opinion, like, this is what we're gonna do, and you know, just speak up more. You do fine. You're gonna do fine.
Right.
Um, so what would you consider to be the most greatest moment of your career?
Winning the state game is definitely up there. I say winning state is 1B, but 1A is probably my sophomore year. We had a manager, his name was Saul. Uh, Great kid. Still keep in touch with him a little bit today, but he was our manager, so he'd be at every practice, all the games, all that stuff. He was also really smart. He was in a ton of academics and clubs, so he didn't have to be at practices and games. Like he decided to do that. He had a love for the game, even though he didn't play. And on senior night, coach basically gave him a jersey, and he didn't play the first 3 quarters. We had to get a little lead first, but we eventually got the lead. He put Saul in with, I say, about a minute 30 left, somewhere around there. And we were trying to get him a shot. He missed maybe the first two or three, but then someone, I forgot who, was dribbling down, and Saul was open on the right wing, right in front of our bench. And he got the ball from one of my teammates, and we all stood up, shot it, and banked it in, and we all went crazy. So, and
Oh,
that's what it was. It was pre-COVID, so all there was no limitations on the fans. The fans were going crazy. Our bench was going crazy. Coach was happy. We were all happy. So
Oh,
Just
that's so sweet.
getting to see him actually get in the game after being at certain things that he really didn't have to be at, and actually getting a bucket in the game was a good thing to see. So I say that was 1A, and then winning state is obviously 1B. So
That really shows your character. That is awesome. Just state. Most people would say state would be number one, but you really you seem like you care about people, and that's awesome. I really like that you think that was number one moment for your career. How has being a part of the Stony Slope Vikings made you a better person?
So a cool thing about Sunny Slope is it's a really close community. It's been around for a minute. The school's been established since 1959, I want to say, around there. So I mean, it's a pretty older school, but at sports events, at stuff the school has, a ton of alumni come and actually watch and support. And I mean, even not just alumni. I mean, people around the community come and watch. So just being a part of that and feeling that like welcoming and warm feeling from other people makes me feel good and want to do that for the people coming after me. So I mean, I'm a junior now, and we're just getting back into school really from COVID. And I know next year will actually be full-time school and everyone will be there. But just being a better person, being kind to people, and just allowing people to feel the same warm feeling I felt when I first stepped foot on campus and started. I mean, basketball helped with that feeling. And throughout the years, I mean, people show up every game, big games where people really show out. And I mean, I get to feel that feeling every time we have a big game or any game really. So just allowing people to feel the same thing I felt as a younger kid, I feel like that's something that's been passed down to me. So I feel like that's how I'm a little bit better person now.
Oh, that is awesome. I love that it's a small community, but it really you're so connected and so bonded together, and then you support each other. So I think that's really awesome. And the last question for you, Oakland, where do you see yourself in 5 years or in the future?
5 years, I would say I probably should be in college, hopefully playing ball while studying whatever field or major that I want to pursue later in life. If I continue to put in the work and the time and still love the game, then hopefully I get a professional route or professional career somewhere. But I know basketball doesn't last forever, so my parents always talk about academics first, and I strongly believe in that now. Maybe when I was younger, I was not really with that, but I mean now I see the significance of it. So 5 years, I say definitely in college, playing basketball and studying whatever field I want to pursue later in life at the same time.
Yes, I agree. Academics is important, and it's always good to have a plan B. But I think you're doing very well in basketball right now. So I can see you playing professional basketball, and I just enjoy conversating with you and getting to know you. And I just want to end it with this: stay brave, stay bold, and stay balling. Peace.